All right, welcome everybody. Today we're going to be talking about something that is, we're just breaking it down more in depth. And we're going to talk about the illusion of perfect recycling with the narcissist, right? You know, when a narcissist moves to a new partner, oftentimes, a lot of these times at least, it can feel like they've taken their best parts of the relationship that you were in with them, the transaction, and they ended up moving on to another source of supply and building with them, and basically transferred everything that you were trying to establish with them. They transferred this to someone else. This perception often stems from two factors, okay? And that is the narcissistic image management, which is uh, a, 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 a very, they work very hard on this, right? They work hard to make sure that the perception of what they're trying to appear as is being pushed forefront for everyone else to see. And narcissists are skilled at creating a facade of success, happiness, and perfection in new situational relationships, especially early on in the early beginnings, right? And early on, a lot of you don't realize it, but early on is like a year and a half, where it can still be looking all well to do, at least. That's early on still. Most of these situations only last about 3 years max, unless they have a codependent or something like that. But you have to realize that they're experts in impression management, tailoring their behavior to fit the needs of their partner and social expectations as well. Even in like the general public, or when, amongst certain people, they want to look and be perceived a certain way. The other component to this is your emotional investment, right? When you've deeply invested into a relationship with time, energy, love, growth, it's natural to feel ownership, right? You feel ownership over what you contributed at least. And basically, seeing a narcissist thrive elsewhere can feel like they've stolen your efforts and used it for someone else's benefits. That's what you mainly feel. You feel like they stole all of your efforts, all of the time and stuff you put into them, and they ran off to have it benefit someone else. But this is not true. You have to see the full picture of this, right? So let's break down why. Um, Here's one of the other things. Your contributions are yours, right? The time, love, and lessons you provided weren't wasted necessarily. They reflect really your own character, right? Oftentimes when you are finding love in a narcissist, you're finding love into yourself, because narcissists mirror back a lot of what you do to them, and how you are, they just mirror it back. So you end up essentially falling in love with yourself, right? They reflect your character. They're not reflecting their character, they're reflecting your character. Even if they appear to improve temporarily, growth isn't it isn't well, growth in a narcissist at least is usually superficial, or it's tied to short-term gains. True personal growth comes with accountability and introspection, right? Qualities that narcissists lack and are incapable of. So the new supply dynamic is another thing that a lot of you witness, where the partner or partners of the supply, at least the new supply, is not receiving the better version of the narcissist, but rather the same cycle. This is how you have to look at it. they're receiving the same cycle of the narcissist. They're not getting this better version that's just upgraded. They're getting the new cycle of that narcissist. And when a narcissist cycles, it's going to start from the beginning where everything is good and everything is perfect with the new partner. But over time, things change. Right? And so they're going to get the attention, the affection, and all this stuff known as love bombing. And then over time, the dynamic shifts into the same patterns of manipulation, devaluation, and control that characterize your relationship, your transaction situation, etc. with the narcissist. Understand this: narcissists don't build relationships. A healthy relationship requires mutual respect, emotional investment, and shared goals. Narcissists don't build, they extract. You have to understand this, right? They might mimic healthy dynamics for appearance's sake, but they lack true authenticity. I'm getting tongue twisted, y'all. Authenticity. There we go. Man. Tongue twister for me. All right. So basically, all of this prevents them from truly sustaining meaningful growth and connections, y'all. Flat out, point blank. They can't, if they're not authentic, there's no way to establish a deep connection. It's all superficial, right? Then there's the psychological projection. When you see the narcissist appear to be happy and successful with someone new, we basically project our experiences onto their new relationship. We assume they've changed or that our efforts enabled their success. However, the narcissist's behavior is rooted in exploitation. It's not genuine. It's not genuine transformation. They just found a better situation that they can exploit better. Then you as the person, the old supply, you have that sense of loss. And it's natural to feel like your contributions were stolen because narcissists often fail to acknowledge or appreciate what you gave them. Right? They lack closure. Well, the lack of closure at least can intensify your feelings, of feeling like lost and betrayed. And it makes it seem as though your efforts were entirely for their benefit. That's where a lot of you get stuck at. You feel like everything you did just went for their benefit. Now it's going to someone else because it appears that they finally got it together with the other person. It's not necessarily true. In fact, it's not true at all. Narcissists are never going to get it together. You're just seeing the new cycle start all over again. And because you've been so deeply wounded and invested with, all your energy and time, you're looking at it from an emotional, distraught state. Most of you, when you see this, you're looking at it from a very distraught, emotional state. You're not looking at it from a practical state of understanding what narcissism truly is. If you find yourself in this state, you are in the very beginning. If you're feeling like this, you're in the very beginning of the disillusionment, the coming into the knowledge of what you were actually dealing with. And that takes some walking through to an understanding to kind of really get through of what's going on, because your emotions are all over the place. You can't figure it out. You don't understand why is this way, and you see them appear to be off with someone else, and just like they're just building and having this successful, new, meaningful relationship. And that's because you're just coming into the awareness. You're not fully understanding what you just went through. You're learning, but you're not at that point yet to fully understand why, how all these things are playing out. So your emotions are all over the place as well. All right. And this is where you are. And that's that's normal. That's fine. All right. It's going to appear that way. And even listening to this, you may tell yourself, nah, it seems like they've really moved on. Something must have been really wrong with me. That's really not it. It's just that you don't fully understand narcissism yet. Right? And everybody's situation is different. That's fine. But most of you, if you're feeling this way, you haven't fully gotten to understanding how narcissists work in general. So while it may seem like a narcissist has taken everything you invested in, used it to build something with someone else, this perception is more about an illusion than reality, right? Remember, narcissists are master manipulators of appearance, but their behavior follows a predictable pattern pretty much, and patterns don't lie. This is how you can, once you're healed, you can see it and know exactly where this is going and be 99% accurate in your prediction or assessment of it. If any of you are struggling and you feel like stuck, you want to start to get the pattern untie yourself out of the ruminating and overthinking of all of this stuff, and you just feel like you need that extra bump of clarity, just feel free to reach out. Shoot me an email, schedule a one-on-one consultation. We'll go over your situation in depth, and we'll pinpoint exactly what it is to start moving you along, to at least start the process to flowing, right? Because listen, folks, there's no gaining back. I've been doing this for years, seeing many of clients and people come back and confirm, like, man, you were right. They didn't change. They don't change. I know it's when you're new hearing this, it just, some of it sticks, a lot of it doesn't, but time reveals everything. That person who you thought was going to give you the world and all these things, they're not. And they're going to only keep leaving a pattern and a trail of broken hearts from people that they've come across. Right? And this is why I personally believe and feel like narcissists are the worst out of the cluster Bs, because they affect more and impact more victims, because they're constantly on the lookout and seeking new people, new situations. It doesn't stop with them. Thus, in the end, in the long term, they hurt actually more people. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this video. If you found it impactful and informative, consider to like, share, subscribe. And again, if you want a one-on-one, don't hesitate to reach out. Click the link in the description box. Just shoot me an email. I'll get you information on how to go about doing that. Till next time, have a good one. Stay safe out there and take care of yourselves.